just appreciate you guys joining on your day off and wanting to get some information. So I think that because it's all family here, unless we have some guests that come in and I'm constantly watching this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to ask guidance on how to use the products, on what any specific conditions that you have, or family members or customers that you've come in contact with, burning questions that you've always wanted to ask, or just anything else like that. You have the expert here. As we said, she is. How you doing, Tavares? Um, as we said, she has been going through something, but I tell you, she makes it a point to show up for every executive meeting of
Mhm.
the corporate team, and she is here today. So we just appreciate you, Doris. So, guys, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get your questions answered on a personal level, or for on the behalf of someone in your family or in your customer circle. First question is, how can our CBD products help thinning in the scalp?
Okay, just let me share that with you. First of all, we have to get into the product. And hemp powered hair has been the lifesaver. Using hemp powered hair oil has exactly what is needed. First of all, black seed oil, let's start there. Black seed oil help get rid of some of the itchiness that we encounter, uh, and we pick up any and everything to stimulate our scalp, which means to stretch our scalp. And when we do that, we definitely mess with the follicles. And when you mess with the follicle, you're messing with what houses the hair strand, what keeps the hair strand alive. So when you mess with that and cause it to become sick and sluggish, it slows down the growth, and it starts to thinning because we're digging out the strands, and we causing that. And then we have medication. You have to look at your medications that you're taking. That definitely has an effect on it. So our hemp powered hair, which has CBD oil in it, can definitely help prevent some of that. And we'd also have clove in it. Clove help stop some of the shedding, which shedding is a normal process, but excessive shedding, which it comes to telogen and fluvian, that's excessive. So clove in our hemp powered hair helps slow that process down, and where you don't have excessive shedding, which at that point can cause thinning. Then we also have our peppermint oil in there. Peppermint oil is a great oil for stimulation of the blood circulation. And blood is what nourishes the follicle, nourishes the strand. And when the blood circulation, so it slows down in that area, it definitely causes hair to shed even faster. So we have a lot of good oils, all certified, no chemicals, no bad ingredients in the product, which will cause any other challenges with our hair and with our strands. And that's what we're now doing. We're saving our strands. So yes, CBD plays a great part in that, because CBD is an overall, it helps with the health of the body. And the body needs to be in good health, because a healthy hair begins with a healthy scalp. So we want to make sure we're paying close attention to that.
And just to add a little bit to that, Tavares, what's great about hemp powered hair is that it was designed to be a two-pronged type of a product. You can add it topically to an area that is of concern,
Mhm.
that's thinning, either in your scalp or your edges or any other place. And you can use this as a tincture under the tongue, 3 drops
Exactly.
under the tongue, 3 times a week, topically on top of the head, or in an area of concern, 3 times a week minimum is good enough to have results. Is that right?
Exactly.
And I know the Doris, when you had an issue of concern where you had lost your hair, you began to use it every day and it worked even faster, right?
I sure did, Kathy. I was very aggressive on using it. And, I tell people all the time, you made a decision today to order the hemp powered hair. You made a decision today to use the hemp powered hair, but did you make a commitment? See, I wasn't playing with it, Kathy. I was like, oh my God, hemp powered hair, do your thing. But I did it every day. because I could not afford to lose my hair, and sharing with you guys that we have the answer.
Right.
I
I
had to
get it.
make sure, and I did, and my hair is back full.
It really
Well, you
is.
can, I have the picture. Kathy have a picture somewhere showing you it is back, and the brochure is going to show you some other people
That's right.
hair that
Um,
has returned.
Now Monica wants to know, do you
Kathy, I can't hear you, Kathy. Okay, great. Good to tell Kathy that because I can't type it in. Kathy, you're muted. She probably doesn't even know it. Can someone get her a message and let her know that she's muted? Okay, great. But while she's coming back in, I'm just going to share with you guys another way to use the hemp powered hair. And today I really want to share with you guys about traction alopecia. Can you hear me? Put me in a message and say if you could hear me. Okay, great. So I'll just continue to Kathy come back. Um, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about traction alopecia. Traction alopecia, it didn't just start. It's been around since 1701, 1700s. And that was because people noticed that wearing their ponytails, causing a lot of tension on the scalp, was causing the hair to be pulled out gradually. It's a slow process, but it happens. And traction alopecia is where we need to change our hairstyles around. We got these stationary hairstyles, and especially the braiding. And this is summer. We're coming into summer where people are going to do a lot of braiding because they're easy to work with. But I'll say to you, if you can go and get a braided wig, will be much better for you because you're not putting a lot of tension on your edges. The edges are now gone. Those people who are wearing the braids, wearing the weaves, wearing the wigs without protecting that area of the hairlines, it is going. The hair is it's just really it taking a toll on the hair. The braided hair that we're using, it is plastic. I had the opportunity to go to a manufacturing company that make that type of hair. And on one side of the back, the machine was little tiny plastic. When they sent it through the machine, it came out on the other side looking like hair. The hair that you're buying out in the package in the beauty supply, that is plastic. And it is doing a number on your natural hair. Now, a way we can help, it won't stop this, but we sure have found that it helps. That's by taking hemp powered hair, putting it in a spray bottle of water, maybe about an ounce of water or less, depending on how much hair you have in your braids. And you're going to mix about 12 drops of water into a spray bottle of about anywhere from a half an ounce to an ounce of water, depending on the amount of hair. And if you got your hair braided, just spray that mixture along your braids from the scalp down to where your hair ends in the braid. Keep that going while you're wearing your braids, and you will have less damage. I've found it to be less damage to the hair, to your natural hair, but you're going to have to release the tension around your hairline because if you look at a lot of people who wear braids, they have lost their hairlines. Their braids are starting somewhere by the ear. And that means that you have at least an inch to an inch and a half of hairline that's missing. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that with braiding your hair up for the summer. So I'll tell people, they got beautiful braided wigs. Get you one and put you a silk band around your hairline to let the wig rest on that. It's only for temporary for the summer if that's what you chose to wear, and braid your hair up under your natural hair without having any added hair. We want to cut down on the traction alopecia. Traction alopecia is stressing out an area of the head where you applying a lot of tension. I noticed that ponytails were coming back, trying to make a comeback. People were anchoring tight ponytails in the crown of their head, or wherever you anchor them at. You will find that the hair will start to be thinning in that area. You find that breakage of the hair in that area because that is where you're applying pressure, you're applying tension. That's not good. We have our product line now. We have our SOS system, and that is just simply saving our strands. And we want to do everything we possibly can. We have the renewing shampoo in that system. And in order to have something that is renewing, guess what? It got to do something different. And that's what our renewing shampoo has afforded us, to cleanse the scalp. Healthy hair begins with a healthy scalp. And we have to cleanse that scalp really, really well. Deep cleanse those pores to make sure that the toxin inside the body can get out, as well as our hemp-powered hair and the rest of our system could get in. We have to cleanse the shaft of the hair. That's the hair that comes above the epidermis, above the scalp. That's the shaft. The cuticle layer of the shaft is the protective layer. That is the first layer of that strand. We got to cleanse that because we can't just keep putting conditioner on conditioner. It's dull. It's not giving the hair the shine that it's need. And in our hemp-powered hair, we have wild salmon oil. The wild salmon oil in there helps strengthen that strand as well as add shine. But we want to make sure we can get to that shine by using our renewing shampoo, so we can make sure we're getting healthy scalp, healthy hair, and the shine, the natural shine coming through. And then we also have our moisturizer conditioner. You know, our hair is made of moisture as well as protein. We got to have the balance in there. Now, we can over moisturize as well as over proteinize. We don't want to do that. And that's the good thing about our moisturizing conditioner. It hydrates the hair, keeps the hair in balance. And what happens is, every time you rinse the shampoo out, rinse thoroughly. Some people say, well, I just rinse a little because I know my shampoo again. No, each rinse should be like your last rinse. So we make sure we cleansing that scalp good. And then we towel dry the hair. Towel dry the hair before putting the conditioner on. Comb the conditioner through to make sure it touches all strands. And then if the hair is dry, we're going to put them under the dryer, preheated dryer, for about anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to rinse it out thoroughly. When we rinse thoroughly, we're going to towel dry again to make sure when we spray our detangler on, which is a leave-in, we're going to comb through. Now, combing through from the ends to the scalp, because we don't want to cause traction alopecia by just combing the hair out because we don't have the detangler in there. Now, another thing I found out with the detangler, when I'm doing removing a weave or removing braids, I spray the detangler in first, before I shampoo, so I can comb out the strands that shedded during the process of having that hair locked down for 2 months, especially if they had a weave. They had 8 weeks that they did not comb their own hair. They combed the weave hair, but they didn't comb their own hair. So now I take my detangler and I spray it on before the shampoo. Comb from the ends to the scalp, get all of that hair that did shed. It didn't matter whether the hair was loose or whether it was locked down, it still shedded. And it sheds anywhere from 50
Doris, it sounds
to
like we lost you, dear.
100.
Doris, it sounds like we lost your connection. You're kind of going in
Hands a
and
day.
out on the Zoom.
I got all that out before wetting with now child detangler. This. You did? Okay.
Can
What part? You know where I was? Can you
you
hear
were
me
talking?
now?
Yeah, yes. It was just a couple of words. So right in that same sentence, just started that
Okay.
same sentence over. Over.
With the styling cream?
Yes.
Okay. I always like to share with them about the styling cream by using a dime and a nickel. Now, the dime is much smaller than a nickel, but it has more power than a nickel. So that's how the styling cream is, you guys. It's in a little jar. And a lot of people say, that's a little jar. It ain't got that much in it. But oh, the power of the styling cream. So you only need a little. And you rub it in your hand about the size of a pea, really. You rub it in your hand and it emulsifies. And you rub it through the hair and comb it through. And that's one of my daughter's favorite product that she uses. It's a styling cream. And she works in television and they love it. So it's amazing how great that gives the hair such a great finishing look. And then we have the oud oil, you guys. And when I put the oud oil on the hair, I spray a little bit in the hands of the client and they said, ooh. And I said, oh, that's where it got its name from, because everybody said, ooh, oud oil. I found that we needed something for the hair to protect it from the heat. No matter whether it was dryer heat, it was flat iron heat, it was thermal texturizing heat, it needed some protection. So we added the oud oil to the hair because remember, hair is an appendage of skin. The same benefits that it's getting from the skin, it is getting, the hair gets the same benefits, as well as the nails. You can massage it around your nails. So that is what the Saving Our Strands system is all about. It's about saving our strands. And Catherine, when I tell you, it has made a difference. And I know we can't really put it out there with the children, but I have a 7-year-old granddaughter who her mother uses the product on her hair, and her hair is beautiful, really beautiful. But we got to save that until they get a little older, I guess, before we can put it out there. But if you feel safe, that it's all natural, organic, certified oils. So it's nothing that can be carcinogenic or irritating. We don't have none of the sulfates and none of the mineral oils and the paraffin. We don't have that in our product. So that's why it's so exciting to know that Wakana is on to something great. It's just a matter of everybody else getting on to it also.
Thank you,
Kathy,
Doris.
yes.
I had lost internet access and was trying to get back on here. I'm so glad that I didn't knock everybody off. So yay on that. I'm not sure, however, if you were able to get to all of the questions in the chat. I know there were a couple
I,
more since I left. Were you able to get to those?
no, because I can't maneuver
You can't
the
see it?
chat.
Well,
No,
if
I
there's
can't. I
anybody,
can't maneuver.
okay, if there's anybody that didn't get their questions answered, if you don't mind reiterating your question in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get that answered for you. I know that last I saw, Tavares and Monica were getting their questions answered, but I'm not sure if there were any others. I thought I remember seeing another comment or question that was in there. So please, if we didn't address your issue yet, I'm so sorry about my internet dropping, but it also dropped all of the chats that were in that And so when I got back in, I don't see any. So if you do, okay, my crown is thinning. Oh, okay. Monica did say that her crown was thinning, but she said that she feels like that's from her mom and dad.
Yeah,
Um,
that could be genetic, but Monica, how do you style your hair? Do you use heat? Do you have color? Do you have relaxer? What is your mode of practice? Kathy, did she ask? Did she answer?
she said no dyes. She said no dyes. She
What
has no
about
dyes.
heat or relaxer?
She's short and natural.
Okay, great. Monica, tell her, well, I think she can hear me. Start using hemp powered hair daily. Just do 2 or 3 drops in the area and massage it in and put it under your tongue at least once a day.
And that would be 3 drops once a day.
Under her tongue, and put a few drops on her scalp area in that top area because that sounds like CCCA, which we talked about that before. I don't know whether Monica was on, but that was where the hair started thinning in the top, which is central. That's the first C. And then it starts to spread out, which is centrifugal. That's the spreading out. And then the third C is cicatricial, which is scar tissue, and then alopecia, which I was diagnosed with that. And that's what I did. And I ended up getting my hair fully back. And that's what you want to do it. I mean, there's no guarantee. We don't guarantee it because we don't know the condition of your follicles, but it doesn't hurt to do it, to be aggressive on it.
She said that she's currently doing it 3 times a week.
We do
And
it every day.
she understands. Yes, I do see that Tavares had another question. Do we use the hemp powered hair 3 drops on the damaged area of the scalp, or do we use it throughout the whole head?
Well, I will start in the area where I'm challenged. Always start around the hairline, and then go back in the challenged area and massage it upward. So, in other words, you're pulling the blood up to that area. But I would definitely start in the hairline back. And if you feel you should do it all over, do it all over. But definitely in the challenged area.
And what would you say would determine whether or not somebody would do it all over? Like what would you see as a professional that would make you go, you know what, they need hemp powered hair all over?
Well, I would go all over if I felt I was having it thinning in the top because I wouldn't know whether it would continue to backward, go all the way back. So I use
Tavares,
mine all over. I use it all over, Kathy. When I was
I do
diagnosed with,
too with my locks, and I'll
yeah,
answer part of Tavares's next question, which is what about dreadlocks and 2 strands twist style? So Tavares, the way that I use hemp powered hair is in my spray bottle.
yeah.
What I do when I'm retwisting and conditioning my locks, I'm using that spray bottle with just a little bit of the styling cream and the hemp powered hair, like Doris mentioned to us, shaking that up, keeping it emulsified, and spraying that throughout my locks as I twist. So every couple of locks, I'm spraying it down from the root to the all through the lock so that it really penetrates that lock. And I'm actually massaging it in as I am twisting and manipulating my lock, as I'm defuzzing it with my tool, all of those kind of things. I'm using that spray bottle with the hemp powered hair in there. There are some challenges that I have, and so I am then using the individual drops. But the way that I use hemp powered hair all over my locks is through the spray bottle. It's a great way to get it to penetrate in there if I'm not doing a drop right on my scalp. So I hope that answers your question. I have
Also,
dread.
for
She said I
also,
have dreadlocks and go and my go-to style is usually the two-strand twist. I tried to get my lock stylist in the Zoom call maybe next time. I'm most definitely going to add some dress. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the best way because you're going to use your spray bottle anyway to keep your locks moist. And so hemp powered hair is a perfect addition to that. And just having that and just continuing to shake and emulsify that as you're using it throughout your locks, I think is going to be important. um Eleanor said that I have a gentleman that has hair loss in his crown, and he wants to know how long does he have to use it before he can see a difference. I'll let you
Yeah.
answer that, Doris.
Okay. You know what, Kathy? That really depends on the individual. It took me 2 months before I started seeing some fuzz coming in. 2 months. But the thing about it is, you have to be patient. Like I tell people, give it at least 6 months. And then it took 8 months before I could say my hair was back. But 2 months before I started seeing, my daughter took pictures. So she was, journal for me. But and I really didn't want to see it myself. I was nervous. I was like, oh Lord. But anyway, after 2 months, I started seeing a difference. And then 8 months, my hair was back. I was so excited. But like I
Doris,
said, huh?
will you remind us how long it takes for hair to grow?
Hair grows anywhere from a fourth to a half an inch a month. And I'm only seeing that in straight hair. Its hair grows only 6 inches a year. And I only seen that basically in straight hair. Hair that is extremely curly grows slower. So don't be looking for a miracle in 2 weeks. Like I've heard some people say, oh, and I just dropped my, you guys hold up for a second. I hear people on Facebook advertising products say my hair was back in 2 weeks. Please don't fall for that. Unless they got a screw in the back of their head, a knob that turns it up. Other than that, please, because it could be scar tissue, it could be inflammation. And in our hemp powered hair, we have pumpkin seed oil for inflammation. So you got to heal the problem or the challenged area. Then the hair can start its journey back, providing the follicle is still alive. If the follicle is dead, you won't get any more hair back there. That is, it's over. And most of the time, 51% of the hair is already missing before you realize you are losing your hair. That has been proven. So I can't say, a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's depending on the person and how healthy your body is. That's why we'll kind of have the body scan so you can see what's going on in the body. That makes a difference too. And the hemp in our product, we have CBD in the whole line, and that helping bringing the body back into balance. So take all that into consideration. What are you eating? What are you drinking? You are what you eat. So, let's get the body healthy also while we're trying to get our hair back. And if the gentleman who has the thinning in the top, check and see if the follicle is still alive. How can you tell if a follicle is still there? There are either little holes in the scalp, or there's little stubbornness you feel, or there's little fuzz that's there. But if there's shiny, most of the time the follicle is gone. And that's why we're going to, Kathy, just like they're doing body scanning, we're going to start doing scoping of the scalp to see what's going on. Hello? Kathy?
I'm here, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So, let's see. Okay, 3 drops under the tongue twice a day and 3 drops on the damaged area in the scalp. I have a bad problem with itchy scalp and I want to utilize the hemp powered oil. And that's again coming from Tavares. And so,
That should help.
yes, yep, absolutely. And then drink more water also.
Yes. Hydration, because the cells need water. And if we're not giving the body water, guess what? It's gonna start to deplete its own water. And that's gonna cause dryness of the scalp, hair, skin, nails, everything.
Well, guys, if there are any more questions, go
There is a
ahead and feel
question.
free.
There was a question, Kathy.
Okay, let's see.
I think it's from a Cheryl. I'm not sure.
Yes, Cheryl Johns. What if someone has a lot of flakes in their hair? It's really terrible. Give us more information. Are you talking about someone's hair you've done and they came there with flaky hair?
Like
Which,
it,
Doris, I know you've said sometimes that could be just product.
yeah, that could be a product buildup that wasn't rinsed off. That's why I say when you rinsing, rinse every application like it's your last one. But then also, it could be where their sales are manufacturing faster than they're shampooing it off. That's why we do scalp facials. I don't know whether you guys, maybe I have Kathy to play the scalp facial video so you guys can see how to give a scalp facial to exfoliate those dead cells off of the scalp. Because a lot of people
Cheryl,
think it's dandruff.
Cheryl did say that her grandson uses a lot of product in his hair and doesn't wash it good.
Okay, well
So
that's probably
that's
it. It probably is.
definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that that's probably the most thing, especially with somebody of that age.
But give him a scalp facial. That can help eliminate cleanse, deep cleanse those pores. Because if you don't, he's gonna end up with some follicle challenge. But remember, you guys, this is the season for traction alopecia. So we got to be very careful how we're styling our hair for the summer. If we're doing stationary styles, that is a lot of stress on the areas. If we're doing braiding, we're braiding with plastic hair. That's a lot of stress. You do not want to lose your hairlines. And if you want to know where your hairline should be, you can take your little finger, place it on your eyebrow, close down all of your fingers. Where your pointed finger land is where your hairline should begin. And if it's not there, it's starting to move back. You're having some challenges with your traction. Most of the time, that's what it is. If you're wearing a lot of braids, a lot of weaves, please change your hairstyle.
Well, guys, let's see. This is recorded like the rest. Yes, it is. What if you have a client that has a bad scalp disorder? What would you recommend? Be more specific about the bad scalp disorder.
Right. If they're experiencing seborrheic dermatitis, they really should go to a dermatologist.
Chic and Sassy, if you've got any more information, that would help Doris to really give you a better recommendation. Yellowish flakes is what she says.
Yes, she should really go to a dermatologist and let them uh, see what's going on, because sometimes you have bleeding underneath that, and that is something that should be seen by a dermatologist.
Any other questions? She said, thanks. Any other questions, folks? I think this is really great information. As always, Doris.
Thank
Really,
you.
really great questions, too.
Yeah, well, guys, we want to, and next week I'm asking everybody to please invite at least 5 people, and maybe one will show up. Let's start getting people on board. The only way we're going to complete this movement, we got to get people to hear the information and to know that we have something that is actually working.
Well, Doris, I believe that that is it. Thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure that you do tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Central, where we'll be doing a Juneteenth celebration in honor of the Emancipation Day. And then at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we will have a holiday version of our corporate virtual party. So do join us and make sure that you invite your guests. You know, this is a holiday, so this is a great time to contact folks and see what's, let them know what's going on with what you have. You never know who is looking exactly for what you've got. You're welcome, Tavares. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Peace and love to you as well. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thanks for the really great questions. We all picked up on some really good information. Thank you again, Doris, for your
Oh,
dedication, perseverance, and we are praying for your complete restoration,
please,
sister.
please. Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys.
Well, listen, you
See you
guys have a
guys
great,
next week.
all right, you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Thanks again for joining us. Talk to you soon.
Okay, goodbye.